And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a game called Pinocchio, True or False. Everyone knows about Pinocchio and that when he told a lie, his nose grew. He's obviously, as I found out, not a motivational speaker. Pinocchio, great story, different versions of it. But this game is not really about Pinocchio. This game is a mix of telling the truth or telling a lie, mixing that with a bit of dexterity. Yes, Pinocchio's nose gets taller. Here's Pinocchio, sad Pinocchio, and here's a little doll that's also Pinocchio. Now this is here for a purpose in the game, but it's kind of an interesting toy. When you press on the bottom, it moves the different dial in different directions depending on where you press it. I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but it's pretty neat anyhow. So this is included in the game, and then you got angel tokens, you don't want those, and then you got nose tokens, a stack of cards. Each player is going to get a true or false card, and the person with the longest nose goes first. Now what that person is going to do is they're going to draw a card, and they're going to pick one of the topics on that card and tell a story about it. So maybe I pick fighting, and I'll say, oh, a long time ago when I was a kid, I was walking, and there was a bunch of kids who were a gang coming after me, and they decided they were going to fight me. So I tried to outrun them, but they caught up to me. They made me fight one of the kids in the gang, but fortunately, through a series of luck, I beat him, and while they were dazed, I managed to escape. When my story's over, people can grab for this doll, and whoever grabs it first has a chance to ask me one question. They might say, how old were you at the time? And I have to answer truthfully if it's a true story, or if it's not, I can say whatever I want. So I say, oh, I was 14 at the time. And then everybody has to guess whether I am telling the truth or lying. Now, I put my card down before I tell the story, so I can't change it. And then everyone has, after they put their card down, we reveal them, and if you match my card, you're fine. But if you don't match my card, you have to put some pieces of a nose on Pinocchio here. Now, the number of pieces you put depends on the number of players. It's two pieces of the nose when you're playing with less than 7 players. Otherwise, it's just one piece of a nose. Each player is going to draw a card, look at the number, and that tells you the order you put them on. And so players are going to stack these nose pieces up. Now, if I, as the storyteller, if more than half the people guess whether I was telling the truth or lying correctly, in this case I was lying, then I would also have to put pieces on the nose. And you're allowed to place them so they're off as you put them on, which makes it harder for the people underneath that. And you can see here that the nose can actually get pretty high. But if you make it fall over at any point, you get an angel token. As soon as someone gets 3 angel tokens, the game is going to be over, and whoever has the fewest angel tokens win. And if there's multiple people, then they join a stupid shared victory. But that's really the game. The game is all about telling these stories, and then there's a bit of a dexterity game as you place these pieces on the nose. I've tried to get every piece on, and I got within 4, working at it very hard. But since players are probably going to be deliberately tipping things, it's probably going to fall over. Anyway, that's how you play. Okay, this is not the first game that has the I'm telling the truth or I'm telling a lie aspect to it. There's a lot of these games out there. There's Malarkey, and man, there's so many games. Am I telling a truth or telling a lie? This one takes it up by adding some dexterity movement to it, and it comes with some really nice pieces. It has this little Pinocchio doll. These nose pieces look like logs. You have to put stickers on both sides of them. The cards are fine, if a little, some of the wording on the cards could have been done better. And yet I find myself finding this game to be merely okay. I'm not really giving it a seal of approval, but I can see in certain circumstances with some people it would work well. And that comes down to basically the truth/lie thing. First of all, the different categories that they give you on these cards aren't really conducive to making up. They got zipper, hilarious incident, farting, market, supermarket, visits, baby, an unexpected way of pursuing faint, carnival, father, mother, I have only myself to blame, escape. They're not really bad topics, but the way these topics are written and in there, it's going to take creative people to be able to run with this. And you say, that's fine, I am creative. Well, then that's great. However, maybe not everyone in your group is. And the people who aren't creative are really going to struggle with this game. most people can tell the truth pretty well, but it's coming up with a creative lie that sounds like the truth. That's more difficult for many people to do, and many people aren't going to want to do that. And that's happened in a lot of games of this, and I can see that, and that causes a bit of a flailing around there. The people who are good at lying and embellishing and telling, those people do better at the game. Now, yes, there's a dexterity element involved too, and that's really fun. I almost wish that there was something that would make that more of a main focus of the game. It is a main focus, but I don't know. And I will give this game this, that you could be really bad at the lying, truth-telling part and still not lose because you're good at the dexterity part. So there's a good mixture in there. Like I said, this is just on the cusp. This is on the cusp for me to recommend. I mean, and in fact, I think some groups, the hilarious party game groups with all creative, interactive storytelling folk, they'll probably like this, especially if they like the added dexterity. As it is, it's just shy of something that I would enjoy at this point in time, but I can see some of y'all liking it. Pinocchio, true or false? I'm always telling the truth. Dice Tower Judgment, almost good.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Hi, I'm Patrick, UK Games Expert. Tom Vasel, shut that door.